Hello, everybody. We are back again. And now we're going to talk about document 84. It is a last second court filing made by Diddy just now in court. We are awaiting his bail hearing, which is set to happen today at 2 p.m. And Diddy follows the government. The government just filed their own documentation moments ago as well within the past couple hours pertaining to differentiation of Diddy's case from the Jeffries case. That would be the CEO of Abercrombie, or former CEO. So here is document number 84. This is filed today by Diddy. It is a letter to the judge, and it is only 2 pages, 3. And it's Diddy's lawyers. Dear Judge, we submit this letter in further support of Diddy's renewed motion for bond. So why are they submitting this letter? Because they want to support their bond motion, which is in just a few hours. We accompany this with an exhibit, which is a letter the government sent to us at 11:32 p.m. last night. So just 12 hours ago, the government sent them this letter. Why did the government send them this letter? Well, it was in response to targeted Brady requests. Brady is one of the reasons why Alec Baldwin got off on his Rust trial, because of the Brady versus Maryland precedent. The government cannot keep information from you that you can use to your advantage in your defense, right? So that's kind of the point of Brady. And so in response to the Brady requests, the requests under that precedent that Agnifilo made, the government sent him some responses last night, right before midnight. Probably yesterday was the deadline. So he says, the proffers cited in the government's letter, so the letter that he's put in the exhibit, now I'll just let y'all know it's redacted. Can we read the letter? No. But there's a letter the government sent to Diddy's lawyers last night. And the government proffers, or, says certain things about the weight of the evidence and the nature and seriousness of the offense. Okay, so they're reminding the judge of something that the government said. This is a government quote from during the initial bail hearing. Yesterday, the defense said that they had interviewed about half a dozen escorts who would dispute the government's account of what happened during the freak-offs. Okay, so this is very, 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 very meta. So let's just travel in time. Let's get back in the time machine, and we're back on that hearing, the first bail hearing ever, back September 18th, right? We're in court, travel back in time. Okay. We're going to do a little role play acting out so that y'all can understand what's being described right here. Okay. Use your imagination, or cut out some pictures, or cut out some finger puppets or something if you can't imagine. But we're there. It's September, we'll say 18th. Mark Agnifilo is there, and he's saying, Your Honor, I'm Diddy's lawyer, and we've interviewed, quote, half a dozen escorts who would dispute what the government is saying about these FOs. We have our own witnesses, this half a dozen escorts. Okay, that's Mark Agnifilo, right? And then in response to that, the government says all the way back in September, Your Honor, but our investigation, the government says, is ongoing. The feds say, I can't say too much about it, but I will note that half a dozen escorts is just the tip of the iceberg of the number of escorts who have participated in FOs. Okay, so imagine some version of that happened, right? Okay, fast forward. Now we're here today. Now it's being cited in a filing that Diddy just filed. And Mark Agnifilo is saying, just as one example, Your Honor, in attempting to rebut the defense's proffer during the initial bail hearing, in attempting to rebut me, Your Honor, I'm Mark Agnifilo. They trying to fight with me. I remember it clearly. They told me that a half dozen escorts was the tip of the iceberg. But look at this. As the government's Brady disclosure makes clear, however, redacted, but it does make it seem like there really aren't that many. Maybe it's like there's not a lot of witnesses. There's not a lot of escorts who they actually have to speak against Diddy, et cetera, et cetera. Additionally, this letter, the one that's in Exhibit A that we can't read, provides even more new information that warrants reopening the bail proceedings. Okay, so listen, y'all, in order for Diddy to get bail, a lot of things have to go his way. If even one of these things does not go Diddy's way, he ain't getting out of jail until the trial. Okay. Mark Agnifilo and them are fighting for their life. I have to give it to them. They sure are. But what they're trying to do with this letter, they got a hearing coming up right now, few hours, 2 hours, 15, 16 minutes. They got a hearing coming up. And they're offering this to say, Your Honor, this is new evidence. Remember, we needed to prove new evidence. Here's some new evidence for you. This letter we just got 11:30 last night. It has something to do with the half dozen escorts being the tip of the iceberg and what happened at the freak-offs. Okay. That's what it has to do with. And what Mark Agnifilo is trying to do here is to get the judge to reopen the bail hearing. He basically just wants to go back to square one and argue for Diddy to get bail again. He wants to have a square one start. And even I need to tell y'all this, even if the judge reopens the bail hearing, Diddy is going to still face many of the exact same things. Maybe Mark Agnifilo and Shapiro and them have been able to get some of the government's evidence called into question. Maybe they've been able to get some of the evidence excluded, which they have been able to do, right? The one they got from the locker, the legal pad. We got to have a whole hearing about that next month. It doesn't take away the fact that there are a lot of things that I don't think have been discredited so much. Like, what about the plane? The private plane that Diddy owns? What about the sawed off numbers on the weapons that nobody knows who they belong to or whatever, and they're unregistered or whatever, right? Like, there's a lot of other stuff got to get dealt with. Okay. They are going to also be talking about this videotape, the Cassie tape, and how it was edited or altered if it was. And they got an expert. I don't see a judge's order on here saying that he is going to allow this expert. So it may be coming. May make a video on it, or I may wait until the live stream and just do a recap there. We'll see. Yeah. So what else? Half a dozen escorts. So they're trying to get the bail hearing reopened. They're trying to get back to square one, essentially. Mark Agnifilo is. And we'll see how it goes. We've got a little over 2 hours. We're counting down the minutes until the Diddy bail hearing. This is your nonstop Diddy round the clock docket coverage, I guess. That's all I really have for right now. In the meantime, facts ain't defamation, and neither is reading the court docket. Girl, love you, mean it. Okay, bye.
Welcome into my world. You're playing my game. Thought that you could come up and they're fitting off of my name. Talking out the side of your neck like you're insane. Cortisol levels to the roof, inflame. Kids these days so shameless, selling out real friends for a paycheck. Mama didn't teach them no home training. Wanna be me so bad, but they failing. Step to the plate though, I'll take a challenger. I ain't scared of no low life scavenger. I should warn you though, if you haven't heard, I ain't no Colleen ukulele ballager. Shots been fired, run and tell that. Say it to my face though, now behind my back. Won't be long till you share it in the group chat. And when I call you up, you're gonna backtrack. And you should've kept my name out your mouth. Fast ego, how it all